There we go. Hello, everybody! Welcome! Oh man, there's so many of you already. Yes, welcome. Zero the Mage, thank you for the follow. Welcome, everybody, welcome. Oh man, there's so many of you. Yes, hello, everybody. Okay, apologies for the delay. Had to do some tech wizardry of my own to get comfortable, sorted, situated. You know the gist. For the sake of pleasantries and formalities, hello everybody tuning in from wherever you are. My name is Satine Fiore, a fire elemental from another world here to inhabit yours. I hope you guys will get comfortable. We're going to be taking a couple minutes so that way everybody gets settled in with their snacks, their drinks, their pillows, their pets, or familiars, as I should say. And that way I can actually go over on today's dossier with you as to what we will be doing. How dare you get comfortable? Hey, this is my own domain. I am well within my rights to get comfortable. Raintide, welcome. It's lovely to see you again. Aurelia Sky, welcome. Oh, there's so many of you. Hello, everybody. Oh, well, you see, the thing is that I do very much have a bad habit of melting or burning a lot of the things that I touch, which is very inconvenient. You'd be surprised how long it took for me to learn the hard way that not all of your things are fireproof. So, it took a little bit of research and investment in order to fireproof my specific belongings, but it took, what is it in human years? 2, 3 human years, I think, to figure out specific enchantments for that. Trust me, it was not easy, but I was able to make it work. Sort of. I will admit, when I get very angry or easily scared, sometimes that enchantment is not strong enough. And it may leave singe marks. It's a very expensive endeavor. I will not lie you to. What games do you play? Oh boy, what games do I play? Well, I find myself most comfortable playing what you guys consider fantasy games, medieval fantasy, some sort of titles that I think would be familiar to the majority of you include, what are they called? The Dragon Age series, Dragon's Dogma, anything that kind of resembles my old world with magic and knights and nobility, things like that. It makes me remember of home, however foggy that memory may be. But that does not mean I play exclusively those things, such as today. While we may not exactly be playing a fantasy game today, it's still a little bit of pretend, a sort of survival encounter, if you will. But we'll be going over that shortly. I figured to just give everyone a few minutes, introduce myself, say hello, bid my greetings, among other things. Miss Diabla, welcome, hello, happy to have you. She is Cesar. Hello, welcome. Happy to have you. Welcome in. Swindo, hello, welcome. I'll be in and out of lurk mode. I'm going to start working on a campaign prep for a game tomorrow. Yeah, no, that's perfectly fine. Don't feel obligated to chat if you have a low social battery or if you just prefer to have me as background noise. No worries. It's perfectly fine. I'll be in between watching and bathing my munchkin. Yeah, no, that's perfectly fine. Do whatever you have to do. Feel free to just have me as some sort of background noise. I will not complain nor object. The fact that you're here is more than enough for me, and I'm eternally grateful.
Spread the word.
All right. With that said, I think it might be about time that I go over today's dossier as to what we'll be doing. For a few of the returners, they're already familiar with today's agenda, but for those who are new, for those who are unfamiliar, I should say, today's agenda will include us playing Frostpunk. For those who are not familiar with it, it is a survival strategy resource management game or something to that effect, in which the last remains of humanity is dependent on you, or in this case, myself, the player, in order to guide them to survive whatever cruel, wintry weather may befall them, and, well, try not to die, essentially. However, it'll be a little bit different. You see, the lot of you here will be, as a sort of collective, your votes will be required to decide upon the laws of which we will pass for the people. And, it's suffice it to say, the laws may help or hinder me, depending. It depends on how merciful or malicious you are feeling today. But whatever the majority rules votes for in terms of law, we will pass that. So that could be something as simple as certain medical care, drastic measures, specific facilities, worker. Jeez, Sadar, thank you for the follow. Welcome. Thank you very much. Where was I? Ah, yes, the laws. Within Frostpunk, one of the main features in order for you to help your people in hopes to ideally survive in these rather grim weather conditions is essentially to allow yourself different measures and counteract what weather conditions may befall you. And unfortunately, with these laws, they can't be passed willy-nilly as there's a specific cooldown, and as we continue to progress with this game, the longer the cooldowns are. So you may have a little bit more fun in the beginning, throwing random laws at me just to give me a curveball, as some would say. But as we progress, these decisions will become more and more finite, in which we may not have the time to accommodate one law if one takes the priority, depending on how these votes go. Oh, and bear in mind, I will have no influence nor say. Chat's decision is final, even if I dislike it. However, I am well within my rights to complain. The G to the F, hello! But yes, that is on today's agenda, and here soon we'll be commencing that momentarily. Just so that way I can get myself accommodated, everybody else accommodated. Otherwise, I hope everyone this evening or morning, wherever in the world you may be, is going well so far. Let this be a reminder of getting any sort of snacks, any sort of drinks, as we'll probably be here for at least a couple of hours minimum. Now, let's see. All right, let's see. Before I subject myself to further technical difficulties. We're in it for the long haul, Satine. Thank you. Do bear with me as I do perform a bit more tech wizardry, as I've come to call it, in terms of making sure that, unlike last time, that the screen is actually visible of the game that I'm playing. Oh, and I should probably consider the audio as well. All right. Let's see. In the meantime, as I figure out how to sort this very intricate technology, hopefully the week for the majority of you has gone well. And furthermore, I hope you're quite in for an interesting ride of what is intended to be a simulated life or death experience. Is it? There we go. Oh, great. The scuff might be back, ladies and gentlemen. Bear with me. But also, yes, that is another thing. A couple of my moderators here will be assisting me in this endeavor, as I want to make sure that the votes are evenly distributed and easily accounted for. That way, it saves me from having to do complicated math. In case it wasn't obvious, I dislike math. There we go. This should be. Yes, Swindo, you were very much correct. Math is atrocious. I don't care if it's one of the world's greatest magic that you humans, entities, however you wish to identify yourself, regardless of how powerful it is, I refute it. Absolutely not. I would sooner take a cold bath than ever have to consider doing any sort of math. Let's see. this should be what I need in order to... Here we go. All right. In the meantime, while Frostpunk is doing its sort of a technical difficulty that's currently being sorted out, this just means I'll have a little bit longer to spend time with a lot of you in the meantime. And additionally, also see what can be done about the poll system as well. Quite frankly, you would quite frankly be surprised how many features that this very strange streaming site that many of you would come to call Twitch has. So many features. There's, what was it? Dueling, point system, and yet despite all the complicated coding and features, there wasn't one for polls. I tried. I tried to search for it. My search was in vain. What about meth? I wouldn't condone that either, frankly. I don't think many people would condone that, I'm afraid. Is that even something that is even safe to consume? That doesn't sound safe to consume. I wouldn't advise it. Oh? Ashita, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Happy to have you. We're just patiently waiting for a little bit of troubleshooting before we get started into today's activities, but feel free to get comfortable, grab a drink, grab a snack, whatever you may need. Be here for a little bit. Maybe for you, little firebug. I am not a bug. How dare you? I am far bigger and far more powerful than a bug. Though, unfortunately, I would probably get in trouble if I showed that and made an example of you, so just, I'm not a bug. Besides, I don't think bugs can play video games anyway, so... Ha! Let's see. Size is subjective, I'll have you know. And just like I can will magic with a flick of my wrist, I can easily change my size if I wish to. But I don't, because this size is comfortable. So, there. I could easily be twice your size if I so choose to. So, However, in spite of the unexpected delays, within a couple minutes, Frostpunk should be ready, and I'll be sure to have that loaded momentarily, and we can dive in, and I can explain the rules for recently joined newcomers, just to make sure everybody's on the same page. Additionally, I should also probably advertise that I'm also playing this game in case other wanderers happen to be interested. Let's see. Category. There we go. That's been updated. Due to that. Well, unfortunately, this is where I get off since I have work tomorrow. I see great things for you. As you will travel the realms, I will keep my eye out for your streams and jump in when I can. Yeah, that's fine. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Well, evening, as you said, it was late. I hope work goes well. Thank you so much for attending. It really does mean the world to me. And maybe perhaps I look forward to seeing you in the future. If you've the time, of course, for little old me. But otherwise, rest well. I look forward to what this journey may bring. Oh, right. Let's see. Right, Frostpunk looks like it should be working as it should. So bear with me for just a few more moments so that way I can make sure the lot of you can see what I will be seeing. And maybe perhaps the audio, as the sounds are honestly quite well crafted, the music especially. Let's see. Go. People. A little bit. There. Oh, there we go. Game capture. Should be able to. Let's see. Still no sound. Ah, should be working now. All right. Quick audio check for everybody at home. Is everything okay? Do I need to adjust anything? Right. We're good. Yeah, Panda, you were very much correct. The music is wonderful. Wow. Right. I can adjust that easy enough. All right. I lowered it a little bit, so hopefully that shouldn't be too loud. I don't need you losing your hearing because of me. All right. Everybody ready to get this started? Aspen, welcome! Welcome! It's good to see you too! I'm happy you could make it! You're just in time. The game just got started. I was able to get everything running, but you know me, tech wizardry and all that. It's not exactly my most strongest forte. Bear with me, the mods are summoning me. Right. Okay. Everything should be settled. All right. Do let me or either my moderation team know if there are any other audio issues, technical issues. Report to them, and they'll be able to get the word out as soon as possible if anything is to go awry. All right. If everybody's ready, let's get this started. Go. Select scenario. A new home. Start.
We roam the still, cold world. No horizon in sight. The rulers of old, stripped of pride and glory. It feels as yesterday we were turning the wheels of progress. Until the frost stopped it all. Suddenly, without a warning. When tides had changed, they changed for all of us, no matter wealth or class. We've lost our world to snow. And with it, our last traces of humanity. We bid farewell to plenty, and for those who remained came the time to adapt. We decided to leave our homes and head north. We roamed for weeks, maybe months, leaving behind all the things we once believed had made us. It was hope that pushed us forward. Slowly, step by step. We knew the cost of our journey, and we paid the price 100 times. Finally, the time has come to build the last city on Earth.
Oh man, I will never stop loving this cutscene. Oh boy. Alright, with that said... Hopefully everybody enjoyed that cutscene. I hope you understand what I mean about the original soundtrack. It's breathtaking, it's beautiful. I couldn't be happier playing this game. You are very much correct, Miso. It is indeed sweater weather. I remember seeing Frostpunk when it first came out, but they really outdid themselves with Frostpunk 2. You're correct! Yes, I really cannot wait to sink my teeth into Frostpunk 2. I've yet to obtain it personally, but that is indeed going to be on my list, I promise you. Thank you for the compliments, Swindo. The music is amazing. Yes, Aspen, you are very much correct. Yep. Just as my moderator Aki has said, it is time to get warm, it's time to get comfortable, because unfortunately our civilians ahead of us will not have that courtesy or pleasure. Remember, for those who are new, this game, our choices will dictate the survival of our people. You will be deciding what laws are to be enforced. I have no say nor control, and I will not argue against the majority's decision on what law that is intended to be. My moderators will be helping me with this endeavor, so that way every single vote is present and accounted for, and the final decision will not be changed. The laws cannot be changed. Once we all agree to sign one, that is it. We cannot undo it nor take it back. I also remember seeing the first one come out. I did not know Frostpunk 2 was coming out and know nothing about either game. Oh, Zero the Mage, you are in for quite a treat. I've already played this game a couple of times in the past. I've yet to beat the DLC, but perhaps that could be another stream for another day. But for now, I think that a lot of you are owed the courtesy to enjoy this game as is, with just the basic story and the cruelty this game also provides. I don't think I can elaborate or convey how many times I've had to reset my saves because of some sort of miscalculation that doomed my people. It's quite brutal. Call me Jon Snow for how much I know about Frostpunk. All right. Let's see. A new home. We fled from London and crossed the sea to reach the frozen north. On the way, our convoy was hit by a blizzard and scattered. A handful of us managed to reach the site of this generator, only to find it's frozen solid and abandoned. Why is no one here? Did any of our people survive the blizzard? Are there any others out there? Whatever we do, we should expect the worst now that the world as we know it has crumbled. We have to survive. And survive we shall try? Success is debatable at best. Fight the cold. We need to get the generator working. It provides heat and power to other buildings. Without it, we will freeze to death. Stockpile some coal and start the generator. Right. All right. This will be the starting area of which we will be hopefully having our people survive. Let's go ahead and start allocating everyone to a little bit of everything, as we will need more than just coal in these weather conditions. And to further explain these games' mechanics for those who are unfamiliar, this right here is, of course, the weather meter. We will have a rough idea on how the heat is distributed amongst our people and the buildings, because unfortunately there are some buildings in this game that are required to be a specific temperature, otherwise they will not work. And if they don't work, especially if they contribute to food, medical, any sort of necessary material to our people, they will end up suffering for it. So that's another thing to account for. And additionally, this little day sequence will also give us rough ideas as to when the weather will rise and drop. But as the game progresses, the weather will continue to get colder and colder, and we have to plan for it with but a few days in advance. So there's going to be quite a bit of quick thinking At least on my end. And whether or not you help or hinder is, well, quite frankly, I'm at your mercy. Right, everybody should be gathering a little bit of everything. I think it's high time we get some housing up in here for our people. Let's see. Is this a kind of survival Warcraft type game? In a way. You see, as you can tell, our people are going to be gathering items for us to improve specific buildings. Oh, maybe perhaps I should pause the game if I'm going to be explaining this. All right. Essentially, this sort of survival game is very heavily dependent on resource management. As you can tell, our people are going to be gathering a variety of materials, some of which have to be sent out on expeditions to retrieve, or alternatively, we have to either make them, dig for them, or scavenge them. But keep in mind, those scavenged materials have very limited uses, and once they are gone, they are gone. Yes. Sakura. So how will the laws be decided? By poll? Yes. Ideally by poll, but worst case scenario, if we can't find an adequate polling system, then I will entrust my mods to speed along the process, and we'll do a sort of use one emoji to signal specific laws, or we'll try to figure something out. But ideally, a poll system is preferred. Once it comes time to decide law, I'll give everybody ample enough time to come to their conclusions and read off what laws exactly will be available to us, because we have quite a few to choose from. So that'll also give my mods a little bit of a duration time to try and find some sort of adequate means. I've seen other streamers do a third-party polling site. Yep, that is indeed something we have considered, and we are currently working on that as we speak. But for now, this is just an introduction for everyone to get a feel for the game, so that way we understand the weights, the pros, the cons, and, well, the result if we don't amine what our people need. I think that should be everything we need to know. Worst case scenario, should you further have any questions, feel free to tag my mods. They should be able to answer any sort of questions you may have. That said, let us continue. Let's speed this up a little bit. Gathering's quite slow. Ooh. Somebody followed? Rancy Gaming TY? Hopefully I'm reading that name correctly. Thank you for the follow! Welcome! Happy to have you! We are currently playing Frostpunk, and as you are part of chat will be deciding on what sort of laws we will be having. I will have no say nor argument against it. The decision is final. Oh. Looks like our people have something they may need from us. Let's see what they want. Housing problem. No roof over our heads. Captain, people are understandably concerned about the lack of shelter. They are falling ill from sleeping outside in this terrible cold. We better do something about it. I'll provide some shelter, but I can't guarantee everything. It hasn't even been a full day, and there's already complaints piling through. Go figure. Oh dear, we don't have enough wood. Well, Unfortunately, until we get more wood in our possession, at least 50 people are sadly going to have to sleep outside. But they won't have to worry about sleeping in the cold, as we've enough coal to start the generator. A word of advice, the wisdom of the crowd. Captain, when facing demands, remember this. People usually look for the quickest solution, not the best one. You don't have to agree to everything they ask for. If you fix the problem your way, it's fine. I'll bear that in mind. Thank you. To better explain what I mean about the heat distribution, this little grid right here shows that at least all of the houses within the innermost ring is getting some sort of warmth, so our people will be able to sleep a little bit more comfortably, have a less likelihood of getting ill, and we will eventually have buildings that will require heat, such as food dispensaries and also medical tents. Those are facilities that cannot go without heat, otherwise they will work, and if they don't work, our people will die. So just bear that in mind. And thus we begin the first night. Oh boy, this is starting to look a lot like my hometown. Well, hopefully you have better heating than these poor people do. Let them freeze. That was the perfect time for us to choose. See, what you will be having a specific hand in is the laws, which have a much more significant weight than simple little decisions like that. The laws have a specific cooldown, and that cooldown will get longer and longer and exponentially longer as the game progresses, which is why it's so important as to what your vote will be contributing to said laws. Decisions like that are very quick and snappy, so I will be handling something like that, as it's more so within my wheelhouse to deal with. Oh dear, and we've already people sick. A word of advice, critical shortage. The number of sick is rising, and we don't have enough materials to build a medical post. Perhaps a short burst of effort could help us gather necessary resources. That would require deciding our first law, and I don't think it's just time for that yet. Right, dawn has risen. Let's turn this off for the time being to conserve coal. That way we can stockpile it a little bit faster. And once we have enough wood, we will begin constructing our first medical tent to deal with the sick. Come on, come on. Hey, 25 wood, good grief. Generator hums with reassuring warmth. Boost shouldn't take it for granted. If the generator goes down, the city dies. Be mindful of coal reserves. Now, food. There will be no city if we starve to death. Secure a way to provide raw food and build a cookhouse to prepare meals. Oh, it's only the second day going on the third, and you're asking so much of me already. Right, medical tent, and we've not enough. He's fallen. That should hopefully deal with the sick. I just turned it back on. Relax. Right. Let's see. 247 coal. The wood is not looking great. Oh dear. Well, we've at least a medical outpost so people won't have to die of any sort of pneumonia anytime soon. Alright. Once the third day has arrived. Alright. Okay, let's see. Have an eco-friendly city and burn wood instead of coal. Oh, if only. I do think that there is a method or a building that allows you to turn wood into coal, should there be an emergency. But do bear in mind, Pepper, that wood is very much necessary to build constructs such as houses, outposts, among other things, so wood is just as valuable as coal is. And quite frankly, that's also in, well, limited supply. But with that said, I think it's about time that we decide on our first law. So, I'll be opening up the law book and going over every single option that is available. So that way, you can be given a few minutes to decide on which one you think would help or hinder me, since, well, you don't have to worry about the consequences. I do. Alright, adaptation. Alright, so these are the laws that we are currently looking at. We have quite a few to pick from. Starting off at the top, emergency shift. New ability. You can force workers in any facility to work for the next 24 hours. However, using the emergency shift will raise discontent. Discontent will rise slightly. And for the record, morale and discontent are two completely separate different systems. Eventually enough, if the discontent rises too high or if hope falls too low, eventually enough the civilians will, well, get tired of our shit. And by your shit, I mean my shit, and likely either kill me, send me off via excommunication, or just completely riot and tear everything down. So, some food for thought. But moving on to the available laws. Next up is a fighting arena. Fighting arenas are a building of which I will have to place after passing this law. Evening bats will reduce discontent, but I will have to build a fighting arena within the next couple of days, or else the people will be unhappy. Next is food, and we have the option to pick between soup or food additives, and essentially food. This sort of food-based law will help either contribute to more food, but just not as filling, spreading our resources a bit thinner in a pinch, or we add sawdust to our food, and people will have a likelihood of falling ill. In addition to also hope falling and discontent rising. For the medical, we have radical treatment versus sustained life. Radical treatment essentially implies amputation. The gravely ill will be treated in medical outposts. Hope will rise. However, a certain percentage of gravely ill treated within the medical post will be left as amputees, and we won't really have any sort of means of accommodating these disabled folk until much later once we get into the crafting portion. Sustained life, however, for those who are gravely sick, we will be taking care of them. They will be given extra rations. Though people will not be too pleased with this, as these individuals will be occupying bed space, but untreated within medical outposts. So that will end up taking up more beds for those who we can treat. For our deceased residents, we have the option between respecting the dead with a cemetery or corpse disposal. Both of these will require us building something. Hope will rise, discontent will rise or fall depending on what we pick. There's no risk of disease from unburied bodies, and bodies are preserved for potential future use. However, a cemetery will not allow that option, but it will be morally more acceptable for our civilians, as they will be able to visit their lost loved ones and pay homage to them. And finally, the work clause. Yes, we can have child labor. I don't condone child labor, but I'm not the one deciding on the laws here. You are. Alternatively, for those who are feeling merciful, we have child shelters, but as I've stated before, this will require me to build something within the next few days in order to take care of these children for when their parents are being sent off to work. So, with all of this information in mind, feel free to take your time to deliberate, maybe chat amongst yourself to see which one would be most efficient, because once we decide, we won't be able to have another opportunity to pick another law until the cooldown is done. Why are we already discussing child labor? Oh, good grief. Yes, dear moderator? Yeah, sure. Oh, it looks like somebody already beat me to it. I vote between child labor and the fighting arena. Make Belobog great again. Well, if this were Belobog, I'm sure the residents would agree, but alas, I'm fairly certain this is based somewhere in the United Kingdom, I think? London, to be precise. So, less Belobog and more Londoners. In a state of an emergency and depression, like the frozen apocalypse, I say a fighting arena just makes sense. Maybe, to an extent. Fighting arena. Grave violence, child labor, child shelters. Oh dear. So bear with us for just one moment. We'll be able to get the poll out shortly so that way everybody can cast their votes. But feel free to take the time to consider your options carefully. I don't think I can enunciate that enough. This is permanent. We can't undo this. We can't change our mind, especially the laws that are split down the middle, like the medical ones. Those are permanent. Once we go one route, we can't go the other. So please, I beg of you, consider your options carefully. Exactly. The children yearns for the mines. Technically, there aren't really any mines. There's coal thumpers. There's coal piles. There's no mines. I'm pretty sure those are inhabited by polar bears at this point. And I don't think children can fight polar bears. Or, well, they can try, but they probably fail. Mass production of Joe Swansons with radical treatment. I mean, that's a choice, one could say. Right. All right. Looks good. Right, the poll should be coming up soon here in just a moment. I had to just look it over to make sure that all of the options were present. And do note, should you happen to decide on any sort of split law, we can just do a sort of emote, and whatever emote is counted most, we will go for one law or the other. With that said, let's see. That's good. All right, everybody, prepare yourself. The polls are out. The polls are out. Cast your votes now. The link is pinned at the top, so it should be relatively easy to find for everybody. Once the results are in, I'll give everybody at least a couple of minutes to make their decisions, and then once a decision is final, we will then proceed on passing that law. Children must earn their food. I mean, technically you're not wrong, but for legal purposes I must disagree with you. Remember, your decisions are final. I may or may not judge you on your votes. While I can't disagree, I am well within my right to complain. And just as a reminder, for those who happen to pick a split law, that will be decided by a majority vote through emotes. Everyone must solve their disputes in the fighting pit. I mean, technically, there's a law for that too. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm not gonna say much, but, there's a law for that too. Alright. Let's see. Fight pit. Well, if that's your vote, go ahead and go to the smart poll link that is pinned at the top by my dearest mod, and you'll be able to cast your vote and contribute. So far, by the looks of it... Oh dear. So far, from what I've observed, it's tied between soup or food additives and Fight Club. For first split. Alright, as per the poll, it looks like it's still currently a tie between soup/food additives or Fight Club. One decision can only be made. I can't make more than one. No, we don't talk about the Fight Club. In retrospect, what happens at the Fight Club stays in the Fight Club. Understand? Alright, I'm gonna give it one more minute. Then after that minute, I will announce the law which we've decided upon. I may or may not be judging you all already. Well, there might be a chance of redemption. Perhaps. Alright, everyone, the minute has passed. Everyone has casted their votes, I hope. But the winner for our very first poll is... God damn it. Soup and food additives. Oh boy. Well, then comes the decision of whether or not which side of the tree we will be going down. I believe one of my moderators have already placed a stipulation of a specific emote for the first split, so for the leftmost decision, and another emote for the most right decision. So... Ugh. We're really wanting to eat sawdust, aren't we? Why are we buying clothes at the soup store? Because fuck you, that's why. Hey, Pepper, I don't know why soup. I just work here. You guys voted for this. So don't even ask me. Ask everybody else. One, two... Alright, so far I've seen 3 votes for food additives and 2 for soup. Moderators, feel free to correct me if I've miscounted. The first emote, I don't know what split is what. The first split is for soup, the second one is for the food additives. So the little snake should be for soup, and the man holding his head should be for the food additives. We are deciding on our first split law, and this decision is permanent. Alright, I'm seeing a lot of votes for soup. I'm giving everybody 1 more minute for their chance of redemption. And for the soup additive stands. God, why sawdust? Sawdust doesn't have any taste, you know that, right? Like, imagine the texture. I mean, that is certainly one way to take somebody else's life, yes. Killing them with a soup can. Yeah, I've got no idea how to make that soup emote. Well, worst case, if you don't have the capacity for the emote, you can just simply say soup if that is your vote. But alas, our polling window is closed. Apologies to those who just came in or don't have the time to vote anymore. But our final decision for our first law is soup. So, no sawdust. Banned from the kitchen. All of you who voted for sawdust. You are not allowed to cook in this house. Absolutely not. We are having regular, non-dusty soup. All right. Soup can be served in the cookhouse. All right, and before we begin, this little white ring around the law book at the bottom of the screen, there is at least 17 hours and about 11 minutes in-game time before we can decide on another law, so that means we'll have to go through the same rigmarole as you saw before in terms of deciding what our next law will be. But for now, a dismay to the food additive lovers, we have regular non-sawdust infused soup. Humanity still might have hope yet. Oh, good grief. There should not be that many people advocating sawdust soup. Good grief. What kind of soup did I make? Good question. Swindow. Anyway, I must poof, 'tis late in my neck of the woods. That's perfectly fine. No worries. Thank you for tuning in when you did and casting your vote and witnessing the first-hand chaos of the polling system for laws. Toodles, good friend. Good luck with the rest of the stream. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you coming along. I hope you rest well. Thank you once again for visiting and maybe perhaps pray. I heard a vote, so had a vote. Y'all are eating snow soup. We got no food. Well, that will be fixed once we have wood. We should have settled for the MSG. You know what? Maybe I should serve you snow soup, Bepper. Good grief. Exactly. What's Window said? Play nice, chat. My snow soup has a fly in it. Rand C Gaming? Buddy? I would hold your hand, but I don't want to burn you. So, metaphorically, I'm holding your hand. It's so cold that there's no bugs. What type of fly do you have in your soup? Exactly! How did a fly survive here? What do you mean you have a fly in your soup? Explain! Do you have like an atomic super fly in your soup or something? Am I missing something here? Good grief. Quite frankly, I should be concerned if there's bugs still living in these climates. Are you kidding me? Steel wreckage, wood crates. We're going to need a lot of wood. Speed this up a little bit, so that way I can build a cookhouse. No, we're not building a cookhouse because that requires 20 wood. Oh, I hate these ones. They're so unsightly. Alright, there. We officially have a cookhouse now, and I'm going to make use of the non-sawdust added soup. Would you look at that fresh cooked soup with no sawdust in it? It's wonderful, don't you think? Wouldn't you agree, chat? It's still moving. It could be a snow mite, a big one. Please don't eat the snow mite. I would rather you not. Perhaps don't. I would not recommend it. If I die, I will die with yummy soup in my belly. See? You know what? Maybe the civilization might have hope yet. But protein... No! We are not eating bugs. We have soup. We have non-bug soup, damn it. Coal pile depleted. Lovely. Let's find another one. Hunter's hut. That will also contribute to food as well. Shelter promise broken. Whoops! People from our convoy. With basic resources secured for now, we can try to rescue the people we left behind, build a beacon, scout Frostland, and save as many survivors from our expedition as possible. We'll need a workshop to design plans for more advanced buildings. There we go. Let's just get all of these buildings dealt with first. Secure our resources. As some may have noticed, the cooldown is already refreshed, which means sooner than later we'll be able to pick our second law. Maybe I can build a few more. Oop, wrong interface. Maybe I can build a few more tents in the meantime for everybody. Actually, Not yet. How much okay, yeah, no, we don't have enough for that. Definitely not. Tents. And we're out of wood again. Lovely. Well, besides the 40 homeless folk, we've at least secured food. We've a decent amount of coal and steel in reserve. Sawdust is salt and termite dust is pepper. That... What? Why did you have to make me read that with my own 2 eyes? I don't think I'll be able to ever remove that from my memory, even if I tried. Maybe humanity has fallen. Wood-based food product stocks are up. No, they are not! We are not having wood-based food. No, absolutely not. Eats a chunk of bark. Should have had the children work in the mines. Termites don't taste that bad, to be honest. I disagree. I strongly disagree, in fact. Maybe I should reconsider my options before having you pick the loss. Oh well. Well, we're too far in this now to have any sort of regrets, so, fuck it, we ball. Hope I don't freeze to death on duty. Oh, and the temperature dropped. Lovely. Well, let's see. I don't have wood for that. Oh dear. This might be a predicament. Employ engineers? What do you mean employ engineers? I thought I did. Build things, and we have things to upgrade. Good grief. Road. With this house. To build another tent. Oh dear. Oh dear, what do you want now? The dangers of the cold. One of our people will become gravely ill due to frostbite. This will keep happening if people work in such cold. I see. Here. I think the best that I can do is place a gathering depot, build a road. That should hopefully temporarily fix the problem. And that can just be destroyed once it's all been gathered. Oh, fuck's sakes, what? Treat the gravely ill. One of our people is gravely ill. If you sign the radical treatment law, gravely ill will be treated in a medical post, but may undergo risky amputations as a result. Alternatively, you must sign the sustained life law to keep them alive until we've been in infirmary. Fuck's sakes. Okay. What now? Family torn apart. Sir, a woman came forward after we built the workshop. She said that her husband and daughter didn't reach the city and with the main group, but she's sure they're still out there. She wants to join the first scout team we'll send out. She urges you to hurry. I will try. Ay vey. Okay. We should have more people for the hunting party. Oh, good grief. Okay, this is fine. We're fine. Oh, please build the road faster. 33 wood, 48 steel. Right. Maximum amount of people. And this should be able to gather both wood and coal simultaneously, and it should be a little bit warmer than just simply snow diving, as it were. Let's see. There we go. And our hunting party's dispersing. Wonderful. So far, so good. This is fine. We're fine. Oh boy. Well, I should be knocking on wood, but so far no one's at least died yet. All right. Let's see. All right. So before the coming of the new dawn, the cooldown has been dispersed in celebration for at least some semblance of hope for humanity. Our first law being the soup law. That still leaves a number of other options to pick from. There aren't any new ones, so I won't bore you with too many details. The titles are relatively self-explanatory, and the same process as before. We'll have a poll to decide on which law we will be voting on, and should there be a split one that wins the poll, we'll be deciding that by an emote vote. There are people who are falling apart. Shh, hands them a bowl of soup. I mean, yeah. It's the only thing that we can really do for now. Alright, but yes, soon enough, another law will have to be signed and decided upon to give myself, yourself, and my mods a bit more time to get things ready. Just look over the screen, look over all the laws that are available to pick from, consider your options carefully, please. I can't emphasize that enough. And then come to a decision on what law exactly you will be making, and then same process as before, we'll do a vote, and should it be a split law, we'll do an emote vote. Time for the mines. Why do you want to send these children to the mines? What did they do to you? Fight Club. Fucking kids. They are literal children. They were born. Ma, not Miso, not you two. What did the children ever do to you, chat? Good grief. They haven't done anything wrong. What do you mean they exist? It's not their fault they were born. Send the children to the Fight Club. I don't even think I can even do that. They're slacking. They're children! What do you mean? Plus, Brad bit my arm. What? Brad? Who's Brad? What did you do to warrant him biting your arm anyways? Most people don't typically bite other people. God damn it. That's not an excuse, though. Just because some little bro doesn't go to school, on God, they need to work. Pepper, there's no school to speak of. Society has fallen. It may be your loss, but I'm still allowed to complain and judge you accordingly. Then make them work. What? Just maybe I gave hope too quickly. Society might fall after all. Who am I kidding? Roll a d20. What do you mean, roll a d20? Roll a d20 to judge people? Is that what we're doing? Alright, everybody. The time is 9. It's time for you to vote. And in the meantime, while you vote that, apparently my moderator it's asking me to roll a d20. So while you do your vote and decide on your options very carefully, I will be rolling a d20 in the meantime. And just to echo Moderator Aki's statement, you have 2 minutes to decide. So make snappy judgments. Winter does not wait, therefore neither shall we. $120. A child labor doesn't pass. I'm putting coal in. You are not putting coal in the soup. We signed the soup law, not the soup additive law. I classify myself as a kobold. I mean, pleasure to meet you, little kobold. I didn't really think I'd encounter a kobold in this world, but still. Regardless, I still add some stuff to my soup. I mean, that's fine. You're permitted to add stuff to your soup. I'm not forbidding you from adding things to your soup. However, it is rather questionable you want to add coal and sawdust to your soup. If it was maybe seasoning like salt or pepper or other consumable minerals, then maybe I wouldn't be as concerned. Kobold whacking is amazing to do. I had such... God damn it. Right, it looks like the polls are closed. Hopefully everybody made their decisions as intended. Hopefully you don't regret them either, because these decisions are indeed final. What happened? What exactly is the result of such a poll, my dear moderators? What law is chat going to be signing today? Not my game, therefore not my regrets. God damn it. Fight Club, let the children fight. God damn it. You damn degenerates! We're getting a... God damn it. Okay, Fight Club it is. A fighting arena will be established. God damn it, okay. Well... I'm not surprised, but I'm greatly disappointed. Oh, great. And the people are in favor... God damn it. Of course it's to be expected that the civilians are just as equally degenerates. I will never know peace in this world. Sorry, little Bobby. We're not Why? Child labor. Of all things. In the words of Grunkle Stan, children fighting. I can sell this. Damn it all. Well, as the people demand, I will be building a fight club, but with great resignation. At the very least, I've built a residential district, so that way at least a majority of these individuals living in this little section, cluster, whatever you wish to call it, they'll be able to benefit from this newfound entertainment, for better or for worse. It'll be about 1 in-game day and roughly 6 hours before we can decide on another law. So just as another little reminder, with every law we pass, the wait time for the cooldown for the law book will become longer and longer. So I can't stress this enough, but just please, going forward, think carefully. Master Gatherers. And once there's enough wood, I will begrudgingly build the goddamn fight club. What do you even... 15 wood? Ugh, okay. Well, we have faster gatherers now, so this shouldn't take too much time. Oh, for fuck's sake, what do you want? Uh-oh. Well, that's awkward. First death. One of our people has just died. Sickness, accidents, and deadly cold will keep claiming lives in this harsh world. We need a way to dispose of the body. See, that would be great, but unfortunately, chat decided to prioritize a fight club. So sadly, I can't help you, so your grandfather is just going to have to lay there a little bit longer, unless chat decides otherwise for the next round of laws. I'm very sorry, civilians. You are not at my mercy today. Good grief. Bye-bye, old... That presents a potential worker! I could gather more resources! Hey, look, some meat... We are not practicing cannibalism, and thank God I don't think there's even a law for that. Good lord. And there goes another person. What do you mean, an operative? There's a road. I swear to God. Street is under construction. Are you shitting me right now? Well, that's at least now 3 people dead. Oh, good grief. Okay. I can't build any more houses because there's no wood. Unfortunate. The workday is over. There is no emergency shift. The medical bay is full. We've at least food and some shelter. And another 9 painful hours left to go until we can pass another law. Oh boy. This is fine. This is fine. The Fight Club hasn't even been built yet. What do you mean? Oh, good lord. Why? Chat, why are you calling dibs on different body parts? I hate everything about this. Humanity has fallen, and my disappointment more so. This is horrible. My day has been ruined. We crave meat. I literally have a hunting party. And they're retrieving food every single day. We're about to make the dead kids into chicken juice. The children aren't even dying! It's the adults who are dying!
Work time. Get back to work.
And would you look at that? The hunting party's back! With food! That's not human meat! Oh, if the Divine has mercy on me. now would be a good time to exercise it. The steel wreckage is gone. There's still a little bit of wood left. Wood and coal. Wait, what do you mean the generator is shutting down? Ah, god damn it. Well, this is fine. Do we even have any more coal? Wood crates. Coal pile. We have 3 more coal piles. Cool. Great. Wonderful.
Night is coming. Put down your tools.
Let's heat some homes. Potentially. Come on. Come on. Come on. People froze to death. Some of our people didn't wake up today. They simply froze to death while sleeping outside the bitter cold with the generator turned off. Hope will fall. We mustn't let this happen again. Oh dear. This is fine. This is fine. Everything is fine. It's getting harder to drag myself out of bed every day, you and me both.
Get going.
Another day, another shift. Please gather all the coal, I beg of you. Actually, we need to save. Oh, Jesus. Maybe I should build that fight club. People are desperate. Oh, things are going swimmingly. Oh dear, okay. There should be enough wood to build more houses for everybody. As well as roads. Already off to a fantastic start, I would say. Unburied corpse. A few of our people have fallen ill after coming into contact with a decomposing body. This will keep happening if we have no way to dispose of the dead. I think that's a great transition into our next law, as the cooldown has diminished. So, ladies and gents, friends, foes of the jury, I believe it might be time to select another law. With how things are going, this may or may not be the final law we may pass, or else we might have a riot on our hands. Let's get rid of the bodies by eating. They are decomposing and people are dying because of the decomposition. Oh, good grief. Okay, well, either way, a majority of the decisions stay the same besides 2 additional ones. Oh dear, it's these ones. I'm going to regret reading these. One of the new laws that we've unlocked upon deciding the fighting arena was a priority over everything else is the dueling law. Disagreements between people who face deadly threats every day can be resolved in a duel. Discontent will be reduced permanently. Each spontaneous duel reduces discontent. Sometimes people will be killed in a duel, or alternatively a public house. Even in this harsh new world, people still need to raise their spirits after work in good company with a stiff drink in hand. I will have to build this. Hope will rise slightly, and patrons of the public house will be less discontented. So, besides those 2 new additions, everything else remains the same. This might be the last law we may be able to pick, depending on how things go. I vote put Satine in the heater. I am but one elemental. That is probably a building many, many times bigger than me. I appreciate the assumption you think my magic is that powerful, but in this sort of weather, I would suffer. I like the cold within reasonable amounts, but this would snuff out my flame. So go ahead and take the couple of minutes that you need, everyone. Put in your vote. I didn't ask how big the heater was. I said fireball. I'm not a fireball! I'm a fire elemental! Oh, great fire elemental, why must you let our people die of the cold? I'm trying here! Potato, potato. A likely story. What do you mean a likely story? I'm being victimized by my own chat. What has this world come to? All right, by the looks of it, everyone, the poll has concluded. I surely hope you've made wise decisions here. Otherwise, this very short-lived community will be no longer. Gotta put this little fireball through their paces. I am trying my best to carry the weight of the world. Cemetery/corpse disposal. Burn the body. We don't have coal to make fire! Oh, good grief. Okay, well, similar to the soup versus sawdust law, we will be dividing this by two specific emotes. Whatever first emote my mods will be deciding will be towards the cemetery, and then the second emote will be towards the corpse disposal, so the snow pit. I will have to build either of them. So, it's just... Please, think about this. A proverbial gun is being loaded to my head by the people because hope has fallen. One could say, I'm on thin ice. I'll see myself after that joke. I'm disappointed in myself for that joke. But the intrusive thoughts won. What's the difference, if I may ask, between the cemetery and the snow pit? I am so glad you asked. You see, but versus the cemetery and the snow pit, we will establish a burial ground so that we may lay our dead to rest with dignity and respect. New building, cemetery, hope will rise slightly. No risk of disease from unburied bodies. Each burial will keep some people from work for a few hours. You will have to establish a cemetery. Corpse disposal. We'll keep dead bodies out of heat zone and cover them with snow. The cold will halt their decay. I will have to build a snow pit. There will be no risk of disease from unburied bodies. Bodies are preserved for potential future use. What sort of future use? Not cannibalism, I can tell you that much. You will have to dig a snow pit. Hope will fall and discontent will rise. So hopefully that answers your question a little bit better to make a better, more informed decision. Please consider your options carefully. Of course there's no cannibalism! Alright, as my mod stated, the happy robot face for the cemetery, the little flame emote for the snow pit. Why would I be lying about cannibalism! There is an unreasonable amount of people voting for the snow pit. You do know my objective is to raise hope, correct? Okay, so 2 votes for the cemetery. I see 3. Oh boy. You know, methinks that once this law is passed, I might be excommunicated. Just a little hunch, little funny feeling. Just a little itty bitty baby guess, perhaps. We are here for the chaos. Yes. I've gathered that when with the snow with the turn. I can't even talk. Good grief. I gathered that between the additives and the soup debate. We are at a 50-50 right now. Alright everyone, make sure you cast your votes in. We're currently at a tie. For those who haven't voted, you might be either my greatest bane or my final hope and savior in terms of turning this thing around. Hope it is at an all-time low. So just think about it. I would like to have faith in you and your decision-making skills, preferably. We are not... unless you're talking about regular hunting game specifically, then maybe meat soup. But if you're talking about the type of meat that I think you're talking about, it's no. It's a no. We do not advocate for cannibalism here. Oh dear. Moderators, what's the final decision so I can mentally prepare for being thrown out of society by the last community that still lives? Hannibal Lecter would be disappointed in Satine. I think the role should be reversed. It looks like the snow pit won. Well, it was nice knowing you, chat. It was wonderful to have a word with you. I'm fairly certain I'm going to be thrown out, excommunicated, exiled, never seen again. Probably face first in a snow pit somewhere. Cold and alone. It was a good run. That is a strong word, but I don't think it's the first word that I would describe this endeavor. It was a run. Certainly. I think I've stalled enough. Snow pit it is. Ah! Well, maybe once hope is higher, I'll be able to pass on the snow pit law. But unfortunately, as the game would have it, alas, hope is too low to sign the snow pit law. So, as much as I would love to, I can't build this snow pit or pass on the law because hope is non-existent. How can I turn this around? What can I do? I guess let's try to MacGyver this a little bit. Maybe I can provide home for at least a couple people. That maybe might help. Perhaps. Please build them. Please build them quickly. Okay, hope has risen a little. Okay. Shelter's been built out of coal again. Great. Incredible. Hope rises. Okay. We might be able to turn this around. Maybe. Coal thumper? Might be a little bit better. More resourceful. If I die happy, I'll die happy if I live long enough to see our captain's dead body tossed in the snow. Okay. Workers needed. There's so much to do and not enough hands to do it. Well, civilians, I would love to help you right now, but alas, chat has decided on a snow pit, and hope is too low for me to approve of it. So, alas, a decision has been made, but my hands are tied with a gun to my head.
Your work shift starts.
An operative, I can deconstruct this. Oh, for the love of... Okay, this is fine. This is fine. Let's see. Nope, that is the wrong construct. I do not need you. I do, however, need this. Please God, don't tell me that's the only coal pit that we have. Is that the only coal pit that we have? Okay, no, thank God there's more. Okay. Hope isn't completely lost, I think. This is fine. Food quality. You will have 3 days to provide 72. Okay, cool. Where's the fucking cookhouse? Okay, there we go. I guess you'll just get non-soup for a little bit. I can't exactly do much with a knife at my back and a gun to my temple at this rate.
Work day ends. It's time off.
Heat some homes. Are these livable? Oh dear. Convince the people to trust you again. How many? I only have 16 hours to turn this around, or else I am going to be excommunicated. This is... Okay. 3 coal a day. 1 coal per hour. Let's do this one. Let the dawn come faster, please. Oh, I still have to build the fucking snow pit. Okay. Nope, the law hasn't even been passed. What am I talking about? Oh, good grief, I'm so frazzled I can't even think straight. Child labor shout-out in-game. Raising hope only to complete decimated... Yeah. Raising hope only to decimate it completely. That's a fairly good summary, Aspen. I don't know if you're talking about the civilians or me, but it still applies. Another person has died. And we're out of coal again. Great.
There's plenty to do.
Oh, for the love of fucking God. I can't help you! Chat has already decided, but hope is too low! Okay, livable, I think. On. Well. Yep, I figured this was to be the case. Well, it was nice knowing you, chat. This is the end. I've been officially excommunicated. It was a good run. I have been banished. And it only took an hour and a half? Maybe less? I think that's probably a world-renowned record of being banished by my own people. Oh, of course. Please read it to us. I guess I'll read it. May as well add insult to injury. The end. You are banished. A band of grim men escorts you under the generator. The waiting crowd is silent. People observe you as you pass, their faces blank as though they were watching snowfall. You were summarily judged and spared the death sentence in recognition for your efforts. You are banished from the city instead. I did my best. Did I? That is highly subjective. I died with a memory of soup in my tummy and no sawdust. Well, I suppose there is at least that. Spare the death sentence because there'd be nowhere to put you. I mean, that is a fair point. I didn't exactly get to build a snow pit. That is fair. And I'm mildly upset at how correct you are. Oh, good grief. Well, that was a little bit sooner than anticipated. Oh, good lord. Let's see. It's at least been a couple of hours. Oh dear. I think I've had my fair share of disappointment in humanity for today. The dangers of chat deciding anything at all. Monkeys not strong together. That's certainly one way of putting it, Aurelia. Oh, good grief. That was a lot more emotionally intensive and laborious than I was anticipating. Granted, I was told this was your debut. In a sense, it is. This is the first ever stream that I've officially hosted. So one could say that this is like more of a soft debut. I do have another sort of form that does have a bit more movement in mind than this little cuter chibified form of myself, but that is a little bit more of a lofty goal of which you guys might see in the future. Hopefully sooner rather than later, but it might be at least a good bit before you see that newer side of myself. But hopefully, for those who are willing to, that you stick along for the ride and get to see myself grow. And, you know, just explore what options are available to me now that this path has been started. in spite of my growing dismay and disappointment in certain decisions, overall, I had fun. I hope everyone at home had fun as well, and got to enjoy my pedantic screaming and frantic panicking for what it was worth. I will watch your journey with great interest. Thank you! Much appreciated for the support. Panic all the... Even my own mods are against me. I will never understand peace ever again. We love to know the content you wish to see in the future. Oh boy. Well. Good luck to your future endeavor, Satine. Thank you, Aspen! Panic Horse stream, surely. Frankly, I'm not exactly too keen on horror games. However, if perhaps persuaded enough, I could consider playing horror games on here. However, I will not be any sort of composed. I will likely be uttering a variety of curses, and then some. As I have a more flight than fight. Would you play Ratchet and Clank? I don't think I've played Ratchet and Clank before. I would definitely consider it. Honkai Star Rail. Puyo versus games do have an appealing sense of allure to them. Perhaps. Perhaps in the future. If you need a buddy to hold your hand in horror games, let me know. Oh, Aspen, my friend. I'm going to need more than a hand to hold. I think I'm going to need a stiff drink to pair with it. Would you play Kingdom Hearts? I have not played Kingdom Hearts in such a long time. Good night, Satine. Good night, Schmooby! Thank you for attending. Thank you for also contributing to the votes. I hope you had a good time. I look forward to seeing you in the future for any future streams that I may hold. And overall, just thank you for hanging around for these past couple of hours, even if it was chaotic in nature. But alas, what is... I should have expected better, letting chat make any sort of executive decisions. A lot of streamers that I'm following are playing Ratchet and Clank and Kingdom Hearts for the first time. You missed all my human food jokes. Maybe it might be for the best. There were so many cannibalism jokes. I must head out as well. Good night. It was fun. Thank you, Aspen, for joining along and witnessing my growing disappointment. Overall, in all seriousness, I hope everyone who attended had a good time. I look forward to seeing a lot of you again in the future, be it for Frostpunk or other fun game endeavors. Perhaps I may consider tapping into a few fantasy games that might catch my interest, but for any sort of games that are suggested, I will for sure consider them in the future, only in case that this is something that, you know, say enough people are interested in watching me play Kingdom Hearts. I will surely consider it. Baldur's Gate 3. Oh boy. Baldur's Gate 3, my weary beloved. I must insist on Persona 3. Could be possible, could be arranged. There was a mention of human food and how it was adults, not children, and dead bodies, and I was like, do it South Park style. Parent chili? Bear with me one moment as I'm Googling how to email the devs and personally thank them for not adding cannibalism to their damn game. I would love to see you play Kingdom Hearts. Or Ratchet and Clank. I'll definitely consider Kingdom Hearts, for sure. Especially since I have played a little bit of Kingdom Hearts, but I've never beaten any of the games personally. It could be something of interest. especially since I haven't really touched that title in a while, but Ratchet and Clank is definitely unfamiliar. So, if there's enough people interested, I surely wouldn't mind trying it. I won't really know until I try. However, since I haven't really played Ratchet and Clank, and it's been some time since I played Kingdom Hearts, expect a lot of failures. However, if I do need help or hints, I will ask. Don't offer any unsolicited advice. I will be very blatant if I need assistance. Kingdom Hearts would be so cool. Oh yeah, I'd love to have you play Kingdom Hearts 2 and watching the ending. Yeah, it'd certainly be something to consider in the future. My cat just bit my nose so hard it's bleeding. Oh no! Hopefully you're alright. Familiars can be rather unruly sometimes. Bite your cat's nose back. I wouldn't exactly condone biting your familiar back. Ratchet and Clank is a sci-fi platformer with wacky weapons. I'm not particularly the best at platformers, so if you're perfectly fine with seeing me struggle for the first bit, I would definitely take it under consideration for sure. I heard the mention of Dragon Age. Anyone know when the new one is supposed to come out? I think late autumn should be when. Veilguard? Oh, don't even get me started on Veilguard. Actually, that's also another game I should consider playing. Oh my goodness, I adore Veilguard. You know what? Maybe that might actually be something to consider. Be playing all of the oh, I've lost my words. Right, Liz Gamer? Oh, thank you for the follow! Thank you! Brayless Gamer, welcome! Thank you for the follow. I'm so happy you were able to join, albeit, missing. That's fine, the Ratchet and Clank game straight away. From platforming and more to gunplay later on. Well, yeah, I would definitely be willing to give it a shot. I will struggle, but maybe you might find that funny. Most likely this winter, most likely. Oh man, I should consider maybe adding the Dragon Age series to my roulette, and maybe perhaps we can, maybe in the future go through all of the Dragon Age titles, and you get to witness my useless pining over traumatized elves. Late October is when it comes out. Oh man, that's exciting. I can't wait. Ah, man. Man, I can't wait to play Dragon Age. Specifically Veilguard. Oh my goodness. I don't know if anyone has particularly seen any of the trailers or any sort of videos concerning Veilguard, but listen, allow me to be pedantic for like 5 minutes. They have long hair options now! Oh, I can't wait. You're very entertaining. Thank you! Admittedly, this is only technically the second stream that I've ever done myself, and keep in mind, I am still actively learning, especially this sort of tech wizardry that is OBS and just Streamlabs as a whole. So, quite frankly, expect a lot of trial and error and technical difficulties, but hopefully you'll just find that funny more than inconvenient. The Rue from Down Under made it. I'm here just half as— Welcome! I'm so glad you were able to make it. I'm sorry that you had to miss— Well, I don't know if I should be sorry. You've missed quite a few cannibalism jokes. And mentions of Hannibal Lecter. And snow soup. And people eating snow mites. So, hopefully after the stream ends, however, there should still be a VOD in case anybody wasn't able to make it during the live, as I know for some people this is rather late or early. So if this is something that you'd be interested in watching afterwards, it should be available after the stream. Hopefully. If not, I will cry. But for what it's worth, if the VOD doesn't save, don't worry. This won't be the first time you get to see me, and hopefully in the future there will be just a variety of different times, just so that way everybody has a chance to make it. As long as it ain't room meat, eat what you want. Any plans to upload it on YouTube? Ideally, it would be preferred. Frankly speaking, I'm still kind of on the fence if whether or not I want to continue using Twitch. Twitch is very intuitive, don't get me wrong, but I also like how YouTube also works as well. This is kind of just more so getting a feel for just streaming as a whole, and Twitch being something that I'm slightly more familiar with, I just figured it was best, as it didn't really require as much research or as much preparation. But in worst case scenario, I could consider uploading the VODs to YouTube as well. I don't think I've recorded this one personally, but if I'm able to download the VOD myself, should there be one, I'll see what I can do about uploading the VOD to YouTube, just to better accommodate for the people who didn't make it. YouTube streaming is very weird. Yes, that is, you are very much correct in that regard. I've tried YouTube streaming a couple of times in the past before, just more so for personal, hobby-based endeavors, but it was kind of, well, boring, to put it simply. At least from how I understand it, Twitch is a little bit more intuitive in terms of, like, streaming with other people, rating other people, among other things. And maybe perhaps when I'm a little bit more comfortable and more sure-footed, when it comes to streaming, I would actually love to be able to contribute to raids, especially for people who I also think are really wonderful content creators as well, since there's a number of people that I follow or otherwise idolize who deserve just as much recognition for their work, especially if you guys happen to also be sort of VTuber fans as well. Do you like any retro games? I'd have to think on that a little bit. I think... What was the game called? I'm trying to remember. I mean, there were a number of DS games that I really enjoyed. I think there was a specific dinosaur one that I really liked, where you got to dig up fossils, and you got to, Pokemon style, throw them into battle. It was really cheesy and really corny, and the graphics are abysmal, but it was charming and nostalgic. Honestly, just a lot of old Nintendo DS games. Fossil Fighters! Yes, thank you! Fossil Fighters. That was a game that I especially really liked, because of how just crazy and wacky it was, with all the bright colors and, randomly colored dinosaurs that, quite frankly, look like DeviantArt OCs. It was so corny, and some may consider it cringy, but I consider nostalgic. And it's great. Additionally, like a number of the Pets games, Nintendogs, what else? Wait a minute. I could consider Viva Pinata. That is one of the earliest games that I can remember, and I got to raise these weird little strangely colored pinata-themed animals and have a garden, and God, it's like a fever dream. How I still remember that game is beyond me. That one and also Eternal Sonata. Though that's also another game that I really like, but I think those are exclusively console. I don't know if they have copies on Steam, but if they do, oh my goodness gracious, I will absolutely snatch that up and add that to my roster. So, I mean, I hope that kind of answers your question. They might not be as retro as you were thinking, but those are at least what I consider a little bit more aged, since I played those games quite a bit when I was a much smaller, more prepubescent little flame, one with no shape of any type, but still a love for exploring various other worlds, especially worlds created by others. stream it via PS4/PS5. That could be possible. It could be. Though I think that may require a bit more tech than what I have currently available to me. So that could be something added into the future for once the time comes. The Eternal Sonata says the PS3 version has some updates. Honestly, would you mind another VTuber recommend to check out? As in you recommend me one, or I recommend you one? Oh boy. Well, if you want my opinion in terms of VTubers that I personally really enjoy, for those who are familiar with the big companies, specifically HoloLive, more so specifically Hollow Stars of the Armis unit, I absolutely recommend Crimson Ruse. He is a wonderful individual with a very loud, crass sense of humor. He plays a lot of games, both new and old. He's also an avid Dungeons and Dragons player, if that happens to be your interest. He has a really great sense of humor, often advertising himself as your least favorite idol. And additionally, his gen mates in Armis are also very helpful as well. Should that be a streamer that sounds like interesting enough, I can grab a link to his YouTube channel and have one of my moderators pin it in case that is something or someone you wish to check out. He's personally one of my favorites in tandem with Gold Bullet. Let's see, maybe I can actually quickly find a link really quick and just have that pinned to the news and news. Yeah, sure, of course, by all means. I do not oppose recommendations. Especially if the recommendation happens to be a creator who kind of has overlapping interests to mine. I'm always down for taking recommendations to add more content creators to my roster. Be it indie or corporate, I should say. Thank you, Aki! But yes, the link at the top is Crimson Ruse. He is one of my all-time favorites. He's very entertaining and very funny. Bolt's Mechanic. Do they stream on Twitch or have a YouTube channel or like a specific Twitter handle that I can easily find them by? His Discord server is how I found... Wait. So he's another VTuber. And you found my channel because of him? Am I understanding this correctly? Huh. Color me impressed. Would you mind, posting his handle so that way I can perhaps find him and maybe follow him on Twitter? I'd greatly appreciate it if you wouldn't mind. Man, that's interesting. Never would have thought that through another VTuber, you would have found me. It's interesting. And a very pleasant surprise. Yeah, sure. I will make the one exception. Normally, I wouldn't allow promotional links, but since I'm personally asking for the VTuber in question, I will make an exception and allowing you to post the link or the handle. Either or is perfectly fine. So that way, maybe I can check them out. Assuming the link isn't censored. Worst case, you might have to post the handle. Twitch is a little bit finicky with links. Alternatively, worst case, if you're having troubles, you can DM it to one of my moderators and they should be able to send me the link or the handle in question. Whichever works. I'd be especially interested in seeing what type of content he does, maybe what type of games, see if there's any sort of overlapping interests, and maybe just see what he's all about. It's honestly, quite frankly, piquing my interest that you found me through them anyways, so I don't think I'm quite familiar with Bolts the Mechanic either, so excuse me if I'm still a little bit surprised by your statement. He is at Bolts the Mech on Twitter. Thank you! Much appreciated. I will go take a look at his Twitter and perhaps give him a follow, and just see what he's all about. He's individual. Bolts the Mechanic VTuber. Interesting. Yeah, no, I think this is honestly the first time I've heard of Bolts. He has a really interesting design. I like it. Very futuristic and sci-fi. A little bit different than my usual taste, but honestly, it looks seamless and clean. Thank you. I appreciate the recommendation. He has a server channel on his Discord that people post when they're going live. Interesting. Well, in case it wasn't obvious enough, I don't know of Bolts. I've never interacted with him. I'm not familiar with him or his content. To be perfectly level with you, this is the first time I've ever heard of him, so I think someone else might have shared the link to my Twitch to his server. And someone posted that you were live. Ah. Well, whoever that person was, I greatly appreciate the gesture, and I'm glad that you decided to give me a chance. Thank you. Hopefully I left a good impression on you, and that, perhaps you might consider coming back again. Especially with different games in mind, such as Ratchet and Clank or Kingdom Hearts, or really any other game, frankly. I'd always love to see returners here. Let's see. What sort of content that he doesn't have? The person that posted was... Oh! Swindo! If he happens to show up in my stream again, I'll have to thank him for that. That's such a sweet gesture. Thank you for telling me. And additionally, once again, thank you for giving me a chance. I know I'm a little bit of a newer upstart, but I hope that this was a good first impression and that I get the privilege of seeing you again. It would be an honor to welcome you back into my chat. And hopefully, welcome you back with less discussion of cannibalism, but semantics, I digress. Bolt is very nice and funny. Well, thank you very much for the recommendation. I'll be sure to check him out. His design already is leaving a very lasting impression because I appreciate designs and art of various types and variety. His chat is very chaotic. I mean, it kind of goes without saying that a lot of chats are chaotic, quite frankly. I mean, Mine was certainly as such. And he's having a donathon because he got a PS1 inspired model. Oh, wonderful! Well, I hope he has wonderful luck with that donathon. Maybe if I have the time and he happens to be live and I'm awake, maybe I can just provide a little bit of support. What goes around comes around. I had the pleasure of meeting one of his viewers come into my chat, that being yourself, so I mean it's only fair to return the favor to some extent. Ugh, with all that being said, though, I think I've worn myself out. Ugh. I wouldn't exactly want to burn myself out too quickly. And quite frankly, despite this being my first official stream, especially on this channel, I think it was a pretty darn good run, chaos and shenanigans aside. I certainly had fun, contrary to the little bit of a headache that all the chaos brought me, but it certainly wasn't bad. I had a good time. I enjoyed it. The banter was great. Everybody participating and having a ball of a time, especially with the polls. It was great. And I hope everybody shares the same sentiment because I would personally love to do this again. Thank you, Miso! With that being said, everyone, I think this is a good time to bid our farewells, but not permanent goodbyes. Consider this at best a see you later. No matter whatever sort of road that we go down, I assure you this will not be the last time you guys see me. Now time to burn everything. I would prefer not to burn my chat. I wouldn't have anyone to talk to or to insult for that matter if I cast Fireball here. Heavens forbid I actually enjoy the chaotic company. But yes, just like moderator Miso said, thank you everyone for coming, for those who stayed, for those who are lurking, even those who are currently not participating in chat or talking. Thank you so much for even sticking around and giving little old me a chance anyways. I hope I have the pleasure of seeing you again. I greatly would look forward to it, even if you just said hi and just went quiet afterwards. Regardless if you're active, quiet, extroverted, or introverted, your company is always valuable to me, and it would do me such a great pleasure being able to welcome you back to my streams. No problem, I shall continue to create chaos within reason. I'll try my best to be here. I would love it to see returners again. Should you feel so inclined to bring your friends, by all means, but no pressure. I would be perfectly content with just a small little familiar company. If you think that it would be good to bring along your friends to watch, by all means, I encourage it. The more the merrier, I say. And the more there are, the more chaotic it'll be. Thank you! Thank you, Pandarars! I will try my best to be here too. Of course, but just try not to force yourself. This is just simply something for fun. And, unfortunately, I will have other obligations to attend to, so this will not be my primary activity in my downtime, but I will certainly do my best to be here as often as I can, playing fun little games with you and creating even more fun memories. It would do me such a pleasure to be able to see you, new or old. Congrats on the first stream. Thank you! And the more we do this, the better we get. Exactly! This is only technically my second official stream. The first one was a test. And I had to spend an inexorbitant amount of time trying to figure out how to get the chat widget to work. But it works! That's how I feel about it when I stream Apex. Honestly, valid. Understandable. But with that said, everyone, I think I've talked long enough. I've certainly done enough shouting and berating. It's not a VTuber stream without scuff. You are absolutely correct. The phenomena is real, folks. VTuber scuff is always going to happen, no matter how experienced you get. I could be streaming for a year from now, and I would still probably be experiencing scuff. and I'm my own technical service support. So, but with that being said, everyone, thank you once again for your time, tuning in when you did, and spending these past couple of hours with me. I can't be any more grateful than I already am. Maybe perhaps I could, but the words wouldn't do it justice. I really hope to see you guys again in the future. Be it just by yourself, with friends, actively chatting, or lurking, it doesn't matter to me. You're here, and that's all that really matters. You're here, and I'm thankful that you're here. And I look forward to greeting you and welcoming you back into my chat once more. So thank you everyone for such a wonderful, successful first stream, and for doing me the honors of sticking around for as long as you did. So, until next time, chat! Bye! Everyone have a good night or morning wherever you are. Be sure to eat or drink. So, ta-ta for now. Until next time, everybody.